Now I'm going to unbox this moving parts matchbox. This is the Toyota MR2. This car was a pretty revolutionary, I guess, if you think about it, considering that it was a small, compact car. But at the same time, it was a 2-liter turbo. So this car, this particular model here was a 2-liter turbo. And at the time, so in 1990, it was 200 horsepower. To have that was a lot. So that was actually considered a pretty powerful car. It's rear wheel drive, and I'm talking about the real car, obviously, of the 90s. Rear wheel drive, and the engine sat like right in front of, it was kind of in the middle, right in front of the rear axle, right? So that was a really cool design, considering that it's a tiny compact car, it's a Japanese car, right? To have that 200 horsepower rear wheel drive at the time is considered really good. So I think it beat, I mean, there was like I remember, you know, some kind of quarter-mile race or something where it beat the NSX, if anyone knows the, you know, Honda NSX, which was a more expensive, more powerful car. So it's a pretty good car. For its time, this is, I would say, for Toyota at least, a revolutionary car, because Toyota didn't make this type of engine placement where they put the engine here until they made the MR2. This is the second generation. So this is 1990. So is this? Let's open the door first. And you could see the interior here. Let's do that first, because that's one of those things that, you know, is not easy to do on a lot of cars when the windows are closed or when you can't open the door. Now notice this is the Japanese version, because the steering wheel is over here on the what would be the passenger side for the US. In the US, this is where the passenger would sit and the driver sits on this side, but in Japan it's reversed. So this is the Japanese version of the MR2. This is not the MR2 that we had in the US. They were more or less the same car. You know, they had the 2.2, the 2.0, and just like the other Matchbox moving parts, the door is a little weird, right? Like I had another car that was a Matchbox moving parts, and the door kind of is like at this angle. You see how the line here is not even? So you have to push it down a bit. You know, it's just the way they make it. So if you look at the other side, you see there's a little gap here and the lines are not even. So you just push it down and it stays in place. Okay, here is the side view. So here's the front, and you could see the flip up lights here. Now these are not part of the casting, so these are plastic pieces, and the casting has like a cutout in it, and then the lights come through. So this is plastic, it's not metal. It has mirrors, it has good detail, it has good paint. I have to push this down again. And look at the back. The back is my favorite part. Toyota turbo, and then it has the license plate Toyota. The lights are perfectly detailed. So it's pretty good for the price. Honestly, like when you compare Majorette, Tomica, which is often very disappointing unless you buy their limited vintage. Tomica, Majorette, Burago, Maisto, Hot Wheels, Matchbox. These Matchbox, not the main lines. The main lines are good. They're underrated. But these Matchbox moving parts are probably the best bargain, even when you include like the premium Hot Wheels, because the price goes up. Not only does the price go up, they like scalpers take them. So even when the value is like $7 and you're like, okay, well, $7 good. A lot of people don't get them for $7, right? You have to buy them online. But the Matchbox scene is much cooler. You know, you could find these on the shelves. So if you're into 90s cars, if you were born in the 80s like me and, you know, grew up in the 80s and the 90s, this is just a great bargain. It's a great deal at the price point. You know, I'm doing this kind of unintentionally. So I'm spinning it. You ever see the, you know, people have these displays that like spin them around? So this is the ghetto version, right?